I'm you at 82. You still think you've got time. I remember thinking that too.
I remember sitting at a table like this, telling myself the bigger decisions could wait. That courage could wait. That discomfort could wait. It doesn't wait, and you don't feel it slipping, not at first. Let me show you. When you were 27, you nearly moved away. You remember that. You had the offer, a proper opportunity, a fresh start somewhere new. You stood in your flat staring out the window, imagining a different skyline.
You told yourself it would be good for you. Then you started thinking about the cost, the rent, leaving your parents, starting over where no one knew your name. You said, not now. You told yourself you'd go when things were steadier.
Things are never steady enough. You stayed. At 31, you had the idea for something of your own. You worked on it late at night. You sat at the kitchen table with a notepad, scribbling figures, running numbers in your head. You felt something stirring in you, something bold.
But your job was solid. The pay was decent. You'd just been given more responsibility. Walking away would have meant risk, and risk felt selfish. So you told yourself you'd build it later.
You filed the papers away. Later didn't come. At 36, you stopped looking after yourself properly. You didn't make an announcement about it. You just slowed. Long shifts, long days. You were tired.
You'd sit down in the evening and think, I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow is a very patient word. You kept choosing what felt manageable, what felt reasonable, what felt comfortable. At 40, you almost said the thing you needed to say. You were sitting across from her, quiet dinner plates between you. You could feel the distance growing. Nothing dramatic, just less laughter, less spark, more routine. You thought of her saying, are we all right? But you didn't want to stir it up, didn't want to make it uncomfortable. So you kept the peace, and peace slowly turned into silence. Nothing broke. That's the trouble. Nothing ever truly broke. Your work carried on. Your home stayed intact. You did what was expected. You were a steady man, dependable. That's what everyone said. But steady can become small if you're not careful. In your late 40s, one of your mates left his job. Everyone thought he'd lost his mind. He didn't want to wake up at 65, wondering what might have been. You laughed about it at first. Then you went home and lay awake thinking about it. You felt the pull. You also felt the fear. And fear was louder. So you stayed where you were. You told yourself you were being sensible. You've used that word often. Sensible. At 52, the doctor told you your health needed attention. Nothing dire, just warnings. You nodded. You meant to change. You even made a list. But work was busy. Life was busy. There was always something more urgent. You thought your body would forgive you. Bodies keep score. By 60, your world was tidy, predictable. You knew your routine down to the minute. You knew which arguments to avoid, which risks weren't worth it, which dreams were better left alone. You stopped stretching yourself. You told yourself you'd earned the right to be comfortable. And you had, in a way. But comfort has a cost. It marrows you. At 68, you retired. You thought that would be the grand reward. For a while it was pleasant. Slow mornings, quiet afternoons, nothing pressing. Then the quiet grew louder. You started remembering the roads you didn't take, the move you didn't make, the business you didn't start, the words you didn't say when they mattered. You don't sit here at 82 wishing you'd been reckless. You weren't meant for reckless. You sit here wishing you'd been braver in small moments. Brave enough to look foolish. Brave enough to risk a bit of instability. Brave enough to make things uncomfortable for a while. Your life isn't a tragedy. That's what makes this difficult. You've got memories. You've got photographs. You've got a house that's seen birthdays and Christmas dinners. But when I sit here in the morning light, what I feel isn't devastation. It's narrowing. You had more in you than you asked of yourself. And now your hands shake when you lift this mug. Your knees ache when you stand. You don't have the strength to build something new. Time doesn't stretch at 82. It compresses. You still believe you've got years to decide. You might. But the shape of your life is being formed now, not later. Comfort is never neutral. It moves you somewhere. Quietly. Steadily.
Until one day you look around and realize you built a life that never embarrassed you, but never stretched you either. You still have time to be uncomfortable. I don't.